Hey my friends, this is Daniel Alley, and today I want to talk with you about prenuptial agreements. Now, this is a topic that a lot of people have asked me about, surprisingly, and they want to know whether or not they should set up a prenuptial agreement before they get married. Now, if you don't know what a prenuptial agreement is, most people call it a prenup. And a prenup is basically saying that if I ever divorced my husband or my wife, then I want to make sure that our assets are allocated purposefully so that no one gets harmed in the end. Now, I want to make it clear that I have a different stance than most people normally do on this topic. Because I believe that when you go to the altar and you decide to marry your husband or your wife, then you are completely committed forever to that person. And that means that the two become one. That you plan to stay together forever like salt and pepper. Because you know that you want to build wealth together. You want to build a life together. And there is no paper that should cut off that road of blessings should you decide to divorce from this relationship. So the real question comes down to this. Why marry someone that you may potentially get a divorce with? You see, marriage is a long-term project. And instead of creating a prenuptial agreement, what you need to do is to come to an agreement of what you want to do and the expectations that you have regarding your finances. Now, I understand that if you decide to get married, you may not even know what your own financial consciousness is, let alone your spouse. But what I want you to know that once you figure out what that is, you can coalesce those ideas with your spouse and be united as one. What it all comes down to are your goals. And I believe that your goals should be inseparable. You shouldn't be building two separate empires. You shouldn't be building two separate lifestyles. Because ultimately, it all comes down to this. Expectations must match reality. And the further the expectation is from the reality, the more disappointment that gap will be. And that's why so many people fall out of the relationships. Because they expect something to be the reality, but they realize that it's not. Now, how do you close that gap of disappointment, of expectation and reality? It's very simple. It all comes down to communication. Because when you talk about faith and family and finances and everything else, eventually you could work something out. And this is exactly what I did with my wife. Before we moved in together, I told her that we're gonna figure it out and we're gonna do whatever it takes. Whether we sleep on a park bench or whether we sleep in a palace, we're gonna figure it out and we're gonna do what's right until we manifest the goals that we truly desire. And she agreed, because she knew that we had what it took. We believed in our plan and we knew that it was going to come to fruition. We understood the worst case scenario, which is a realistic expectation that we could sleep on a park bench, but we also understood that there was a reality that we could live in a palace. And that gap between our expectation and our reality had to be communicated until we reached our goal. And my friends, I want you to know this is how it works in every relationship, not only marital, but in business, with friendship, and everything else. So what I want you to do before you decide to get married is to ask yourself, what am I marrying this person for? What do they bring to the table? Are we aligned to the same goals, to the same ideals, and to the same path of living our lives? If you feel any friction, make sure to hash it out and discuss it fully before you go to the altar. Because too many times people use the excuse of marriage being the leading cause of divorce. And that's the problem in America and all around the world. Too many people getting desperate, deciding to get together and doing something that was never right in the first place. But I know you're different. You're gonna do your research and you're going to decide firmly what you want to do and how you plan to do it with the person that you want to marry. Guys, this is Daniel Alley, and I look forward to watching you become the greatest version of yourself, to grow in union with your spouse, and to be together forever. Guys, if you like this video, share it with someone else that really needs it. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel and type yes if you resonate with this message. Take care of yourself and only do big things in your life. Bye-bye.